Title 42, this COVID-era policy, which has prohibited a lot of illegal immigration, is set to end in less than 48 hours, and communities are already seeing a surge of illegal migrants. Earlier today, the Biden administration canceled a planned raid on a migrant camp in El Paso. Customs and Border Protection sent a warning yesterday about this operation. You can see some of the migrants here on your screen. The city has been struggling with a sharp increase of illegal crossings that prompted local officials to issue a disaster declaration. And this isn't the only camp of migrants that has popped up in El Paso. Let's head over to our border correspondent, Jason Jones, now, where he has been checking out the migrant situation. He joins us now from Mission, Texas, right there on the border. Jason, always great to see you.
John, it's always good to be with you. You know, what you're seeing right here on your screens is exclusive video that we were able to obtain from law enforcement in El Paso. Is over 600. I want to say that again. Over 600 men, women, and children crossed illegally between the ports of entry in the city of El Paso near Yarborough, and then waited for Border Patrol. As you can see, they're right along the border wall to be processed. But while you're looking at those images, you got to remember, too, that that's just one location. On the west side of the city, they were dealing with overwhelming numbers of runners who were working with the smuggling organizations to get them into the city. And that's where the real problem is here right now in the city of El Paso, and why the mayor has declared a state of emergency, because now once these people enter the city of El Paso, they don't know where to go. Look, John, I was on the phone this morning with Border Patrol agents here in South Texas. They're telling me that nationwide, Border Patrol stations along the border region have about 27,000 people in their custody. The Border Patrol stations are full. Average capacity is between 100 to 150 people. So there's going to be a point that they were briefed on this morning in muster that if they hit a certain number, they're going to pull all agents off the line to do nothing but processing. And what's that going to do, John? It's going to leave our border wide open to the alien smuggling organizations and the cartels. So if you're sitting in the north and you're thinking, I'm sure glad I'm not along that southwest border, well, just remember one thing. That's when they're going to send deadly fentanyl and methamphetamine into the country. Back to you.
Everybody needs to be on guard. Jason Jones for us live in Mission, Texas. Jason, thank you.
All right, let's talk about this a little bit closer with the folks on the ground there. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, good enough to join us now. Attorney General, always great to have you with us, sir. And we're also joined by Lieutenant Christopher Olivarez with the Texas Highway Patrol. Gentlemen, we've been watching this. We knew this date was coming. Here we are. I guess I'll start with you first, Lieutenant Olivarez. What do you think will happen? Worst case scenario. I know you guys have been prepping, but with no help from the feds down in Texas, it's expected to be just a complete disaster.
Well, Bianca, I think we're already at that worst case scenario point right now. Just alone yesterday, there were over 10,000 daily encounters along the southwest border. That by far has been the most that we've ever experienced in the past 2 years. And the facts remain, that the administration has clearly allowed this to happen. They don't have a policy, a plan in place. They've had 2 years to put something in place, knowing that Title 42 was going to be lifted at some point, but yet they allowed this to happen. And of course, it's just demoralizing for Border Patrol agents who are now going to be pulled from the line to process. And what that's going to do, of course, Jason mentioned it, is going to leave the border wide open, where you're going to have an increase in gotaways, increase in human smuggling, drugs that are coming across our border, and suspected terrorists. So that's a real threat right there to public safety and national security.
Yeah, and national security for sure. He was in Mission. I've been to Roma, Texas. I have family in Texas. Attorney General Paxton, it seems deliberate. There's no other way to look at this and say that they've been trying to enforce security at our border. You and I and all of us, if we go to another country, they ask for your passport. We're not just allowed to walk into a country. Nations need borders, and ours seems to be the only one right now that is wide open.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. I don't think there's any other nation in the world that does this. And certainly since Biden came into office, he's done everything he could to dismantle what was a successful immigration laws and policy. And he's dismantled everything that worked under the Trump administration. You're seeing the results of that over the last 2 years, and now it's getting even worse. And it's very sad, because we know, as DPS is saying, we're going to have a lot more drugs crossing the border, a lot more crime. And this is all planned, and the Biden administration knows exactly what they're getting, and they still want it.
They still want it, and they apparently still allow Mayorkas to keep his position there. He still has a position of authority. Listen to Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday talking about the preparations.
We are confident that with the tools that we have in front of us, that we are doing everything that we can. We have a robust multi-agency plan to humanely manage the border through enforcement, deterrence, and diplomacy.
I just got to get your reaction when you hear the press secretary, Olivarez, talking like that, as if they're helping you.
No, that's absolutely false, and it's just ridiculous for them to make some statements like that. If you look at what we've been doing for the past 2 years when Governor Abbott launched Operation Lone Star, all the resources that we've dedicated to the border, state resources, billions of dollars of state funding dedicated to border security, plus all the support that we have from our leadership. Attorney General Paxton has done a tremendous job on the legal side, taking the fight to the administration. And of course, what has the administration done? They have allowed this to happen. They have allowed just an increase of number of people coming across the border illegally. And of course, not only that, Bianca, but if you look at the humanitarian side, they talk about humanity, they talk about compassion, they talk about orderly. Nothing is orderly what we're seeing right now across the border when you have women and children that are sleeping in the streets, homeless on both sides in Mexico and the United States. So they're not doing nothing to stop this problem at all. They're allowing this to facilitate this problem to get much worse.
We just have about 20 seconds. Yes, and those women and children are also being trafficked, Attorney General Paxton. That is the truth here.
That is absolutely the truth, and the Biden administration knows that as well. As the lieutenant would tell you, this is something that's going on for the last 2 years, and the Biden administration is definitely encouraged it to continue to happen.
Well, we know the time is close for the lifting of Title 42. Please continue to keep us updated on what's going on in Texas, and we'd love to have you back this week, obviously, as things do progress forward. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time today, though.
Thank you.